Quick hits, very quickly. As we indicated previously, 7 fights on Saturday between HBO and Showtime. We already talked about Paulie Malignaggi against Zab Judah, the battle for Brooklyn. We already talked about Erislandy Lara and Austin Trout, who was on the undercard of that fight. We got some more fantastic fights. On the HBO card, Guillermo Rigondeaux, who absolutely annihilated Nonito Donaire in a technical boxing match. Boring to some, technical to others. He faces off against Joseph Agbeko, of course, who faced off against Abner Mares about 2 years ago, I would say, roughly about give or take 2 years. And he was absolutely rigged of a decision in which Abner Mares hit him low, what seems like 58 times. He's probably still hitting him low. So Guillermo Rigondeaux, Joseph Agbeko, I'll start. I think Rigondeaux is going to continue his prowess on this sport and continue to impress by slowing the pace, sticking to the game plan, and executing.
Rigondeaux is going to go in there and he's going to just probably bore this guy to sleep with inactivity, but he's going to land about 5 to 10 punches around that are just going to easily win him the fight. And I mean, not the most exciting fight, you know, that people are looking to see, but, you know, he wins fights. He wins fights by sticking to the game plan, like we said. You know, Agbeko is going to come in, he's going to try and pressure him, but fighters like that who have that supreme defense, you know, pressure is like almost the kind of fight that they want to fight, because then you're opening yourself up to counter punches, which is why Nonito Donaire, you know, was picked apart the way he was. He was trying to make the fight, and Rigondeaux was just, you know, sticking to the game plan, calm, and doing what he had to do to win the fight.
So to no surprise, you're also going to pick Rigondeaux.
Absolutely.
Seems to make sense.
We agree once.
And hopefully not ever again. James Kirkland against Glen Tapia, also an interesting fight. Kirkland has only fought 8 times since 2008. Remember, he lost when he was not with Ann Wolfe. First round knockout to Nobuhiro Ishida.
A no puncher.
A no puncher, a glass hands a la Paulie Malignaggi. With Kirkland, it's interesting because he's suing everybody. His life doesn't seem like it's in the best place. It's hard to pick him right now, especially when he doesn't have Ann Wolfe, who he is also suing. He's had problems with promoters. He's had problems with coaches. He can't stay dedicated, it seems. I like James Kirkland. I think he can be good at heart, even with all the problems that he had. I'm going to go with Kirkland because he's the familiar name, and hopefully we see a bit of a comeback. But, I mean, what do you think?
I'm picking Tapia.
Really?
He's younger. He's up and coming. He's hungry, and I think he's focused.
More focused than Kirkland.
More focused than Kirkland, and what we, you know, just the list of things that you just ran through. Like I said, the very first thing I said is that overall boxing is a mental sport. And if your head isn't in it 100%, you're going to get hurt. I'm willing to bet that that first round knockdown, first round loss that he suffered when Ann Wolfe wasn't in his corner, he probably wasn't even as hurt, you know, as he's been in other fights. He just wasn't in the mental capacity to come back from it, you know?
Yeah,
and once you've, I've said this before as well on air, once you've been shown that you can lose a fight, that's always in the back of your head. Once it's been proven that you can be taken to that place, sometimes it's hard for certain fighters to come back. He didn't look good in his last fight. I think he lost his last fight. And, you know, suing everybody, promotion problems,
a lot of distractions.
You know, he's in and out of court. I don't think that he's in the right mental capacity. I think that he's taking this fight more so to, you know, keep the bills paid. And I think he might even get hurt.
All right, very interesting. Matthew Macklin and Lamar Russ is the last one. Got to be honest, I don't know a ton about Russ. We have seen Matthew Macklin. He has fought Sergio Martinez. He just fought Gennady Golovkin. You talk about a guy with heart. Matthew Macklin certainly has it, and he's willing to take a beating to throw off punches. Again, I'm going to go with the familiar name. I don't know a ton about Russ. I like Macklin. I want to see him get that one big win on a major card. So, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Macklin as well. Like you said, he's just a really tough guy, and you have to love him because of his attitude in and outside of the ring. And I think that what's most likable about him is the way that he fights, is the way that he lives life. You know, he's just a very hard-working guy, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to win the fight. And sometimes he just doesn't quite get there. You know, I don't know who out there he could beat on a major card that would, give him that glory, because it just seemed like he has very limited skills. However, I'm picking him to win this one, and hopefully it'll set him up for a big fight, maybe on HBO.